The United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense Intelligence update on Ukraine, June 1, 2023. On May 27, 2023, Russian opposition politician Boris Nadezhdin appeared on Russia's NTV channel and called for a new president to be elected in 2024 in order to rebuild normal relations with Europe. Nadezhdin has been a vocal critic of the war since the invasion, but this is highly likely the first call for Putin to be replaced on Russian state-approved TV since it began. In the last 15 months, Russia has introduced limitations on freedom of speech which haven't been seen since Soviet times. However, there is a realistic possibility that recent vitriolic rhetoric by nationalist figures, such as Wagner Group owner Yevgeny Prigozhin, is emboldening opposition figures to challenge taboo topics. The Air Force Command of Ukraine Armed Forces update. Around 2:45 a.m. on June 1, 2023, the Russian occupiers continued a series of attacks on the capital of Ukraine, the city of Kyiv. Again, Russia sneakily launched land-based ballistic and cruise missiles from the Iskander OTRK, so there is not much time to hide in the shelter. A total of 10 ballistic and cruise missiles of the Iskander type were launched from north of Ukraine, Bryansk region of the Russian Federation. All 10 were shot down by the Air Force of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, 7 Iskander-M ballistic missiles and 3 Iskander-K cruise missiles. Unfortunately, as a result of the anti-aircraft battle, there are dead and wounded, among them children. The Institute for the Study of War Russian Offensive Campaign Assessment. Russia conducted another series of missile strikes on Ukraine overnight on May 31 to June 1 and during the day on June 1. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian forces launched 10 Iskander ballistic missiles targeting Kyiv city from Bryansk Oblast, which borders Ukraine, in the morning on June 1, and that Ukrainian air defense shot down all 10 missiles. The Ukrainian General Staff also reported that Russia launched 2 S-300 missiles targeting critical infrastructure in Kharkiv city during the day on June 1. Ukrainian Air Force spokesperson Colonel Yuri Inat stated that Ukraine cannot strike launch points of Russian Iskander missiles in Russia, as Ukraine is under obligations not to strike Russian territory with Western-provided weapons. The Institute for the Study of War has previously assessed that Russian forces began a new limited air campaign in recent months to degrade Ukrainian counteroffensive capabilities, but that the Russian prioritization of Kyiv is likely further limiting the campaign's ability to meaningfully constrain potential Ukrainian counteroffensive actions. The Institute for the Study of War key takeaways for today. Elements of the all-Russian pro-Ukrainian Russian Volunteer Corps in Freedom of Russia Legion reportedly conducted another raid into Russia's Belgorod Oblast on June 1. Russian officials and military bloggers' responses to the limited raid in Belgorod Oblast are indicative of a continued heightened anxiety within the Russian information space regarding the war in Ukraine. Chechen commanders and officials launched a concerted attack on Wagner Group financier Yevgeny Prigozhin on June 1 in a likely attempt to undermine Prigozhin's appeal. Prigozhin responded to the attacks, claiming that he will continue to voice his opinions until Russian Ministry of Defense officials are punished for their mistakes in planning the invasion of Ukraine. Chechen attacks on Prigozhin's character may be a part of the Kremlin's efforts to discredit and undermine Prigozhin as his forces withdraw from the front lines. Russian forces conducted offensive operations northeast of Kupiansk and northwest of Svatov. The tempo of Russian and Ukrainian offensive operations in the Bakhmut direction remains low as of June 1, and Russian forces conducted limited ground attacks along the Avdiivka-Donetsk city line. Russian forces did not conduct any confirmed ground attacks along the southern axis. The Russian State Duma rejected a draft law that would have granted mobilization exemptions to PhD candidates and doctors of science. Russian occupation authorities announced that regional elections in occupied territories will take place on September 10. Ukrainian prosecutor General Andriy Kostin announced on May 31 that Ukraine is investigating over 2,900 crimes against children committed by Russian forces.